So, okay, everybody's puffing up Baker Mayfield. 4 turnovers. Is that the ref's fault? You can't win a game with 4 turnovers. 4?
Yeah.
Yards. Everybody's throwing for yards. I mean, what did you make of Baker?
I liked that he at least took responsibility. You can't turn the ball over that many times in the National Football League and win football games and be successful. And so, though I don't think it's all Baker's fault, he can't turn the ball over like that. He has to be smarter with the ball, and I think he understands that. That's why he said, look, at the end of the day, it's my fault. As a defensive player, though, I can't say anything to Baker if a team puts 45 points up on us, period, no matter where we got the ball. We work all offseason on getting the ball in bad situations, bad field position, and holding that offense to field goals. And Cleveland didn't do that. And Cleveland's a better team than they showed against Oakland, who I don't think is very good at all.
Well, Oakland's defense is a mess.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
And so, Baker did what young guys do. He made some great plays. He made some not so great plays. He has to work on being better with the ball in the pocket. That's the difference between college and the pro game. In college, it's not a lot of dudes who are going to try to strip that ball trying to get it. They're still learning that.
You know what's funny, DeAngelo? I was thinking about this yesterday on the couch. In college, offensive players are very fast. The backs are fast, the receiver. In the NFL, defensive players, including defensive ends, are fast.
Yeah.
So for an generally in college, your best, because you get a kid out of high school, and if he can run, you put him on offense. He's a back. But in the NFL, and what happens is with Baker yesterday, the game gets really, really fast. And a couple times, those guys are on you so quick. And Johnny Manziel thought he could scramble. Oh, he couldn't scramble. And, Baker can run a little bit. They're a little bit faster. And so I think it's a learning process with Baker. The game's really fast. There's no Texas Tech here. And that's where the turnovers come from.
Yeah. And that's the difference. Those elite players he faced versus Ohio State versus a Alabama, that it was only maybe 2 or 3 of those type of guys on that team that he was like, all right, I got to watch out for this dude. I got to watch out for that dude. In the NFL, it's all 11 on defense. It is literally all 11 guys defense can run. They're athletic. They're in the NFL for a reason. Whereas when you're in college, a couple of them dudes really are rotational type of players, and they have no chance at playing on Sundays. And so that's absolutely the big difference between, what Baker's seeing now and what he saw last year. And so, that was my biggest hang up on a guy like Josh Rosen. I think you loved him.
I liked
him a lot.
I love his arm.
Sam Darnold I don't know.
Right? Sam's my guy. Rosen throws the best ball, but he's thin, and he had a nice throw yesterday.
See, but my thing with Josh Rosen, he was so overly confident of what he can do and what he's gonna do, and the regrets of people not taking him. And I'm like, dude, you were a average quarterback in college. Ultimately, we want you to win games, and you didn't win games. You're one of the few quarterbacks who we're talking about as being a top 1, 2, or 3 pick who had his college coach fired. Normally, when you're a really good and I'm not out here in LA, so it might have been some other things going on. But I'm a Jim Mora fan, so I'm constantly rooting for him. And so, when I found out, when kind of it came out that he was going to be fired, and now I'm hearing this quarterback, because I did a lot of the pre-draft stuff, talking about how great of a player he is, and I'm watching some of the game film of him playing, and I'm like, he can make some good throws, but he was so overly confident, he almost felt as though he was going to be the only one working. And in the NFL, everybody's working, and that to me was what rubbed me wrong about Josh Rosen, is that I just yes, you can have all the confidence in the world, but 1, everyone doesn't need to know, and 2, show me something and don't tell me something.
That's fair enough. So I believe there's a reason you become a rookie head coach, because the last guy failed. Okay. So if you're taking over a football team, not only didn't you win games, but usually you couldn't get the culture right.
Yeah.
So it's just like when people buy companies. The reason the company's available often is the culture's not right. So they fire a CEO, they bring in a new CEO, and his job is to change the culture, change morale, because you're not going to always win initially. So when I look at Frank Reich, my takeaway is year 1, change the culture. Become aggressive. Have a relationship with Andrew Luck, because 6 years in the league, he's never had a relationship with his owner, his GM, and his coach. So he goes for it yesterday, and I'm like, the Texans were gassed, Luck was on fire, and Frank Reich saying, 1-3, 1-2-1. Bottom line is, this locker room, we are a go-for-it team. You didn't like it.
No, I didn't like it at all. And I liked the mindset, but that to me wasn't the right time or place to do that, because as we look at it now, it's 24 seconds on the game clock in overtime. They have one timeout. Even if you catch that ball, you have to use the timeout. So now you use the timeout.
Can you rush up, down it?
Even if you do rush up and down it, then probably we're at 15 seconds. 15 seconds, one timeout.
12-yard completion, timeout, win the field goal. You don't buy it?
I don't see it. I just don't see it, because I know what those defenses are trying to do. And they're going to give you some of the little stuff up front, and they're taught to keep it in front of him and keep him in bounds. And so, yes, all right, you save your timeout. You got 15 seconds left if you can get up there and clock it. But to me, a lot of things have to go right for that to happen.
That's true.
First, you have to complete the catch. You complete the catch, cool. Timeout or not, 15 seconds of timeout, or 24 seconds, no timeouts. Regardless, you still have to get another 15, 20 yards before you can kick a field goal that you feel like you really have a chance to make. To me, it's just so many negatives and so many positives. So many things have to happen to have a positive outcome in that situation, as opposed to just if you kick the ball and you punt it, at the end of the day, you're
settling for a tie.
In a sense, you're settling for a tie, but you're also guaranteeing you don't lose. You don't lose unless they return this punt for a touchdown.
I love that guy. You go ahead. You take the passive, coach. That's fine with me.
Well, you know what? He's going to at some point have a loss on his record that somebody's going to be questioning, and he's going to be like, man, I wish a tie looks a lot better than a loss. And to me, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm not thinking about the tie or even the win at this point. I don't want to lose. Point blank, period.
4 hours.
I just don't want to lose.
4 hours in, you don't want to lose. All right, so Aaron Rodgers yesterday wasn't very good, and it kind of felt like to me, he called out his coach. He said, they make the game plan. I pick the plays I like. Didn't have to go there, but, he was honest about it, so that's okay. Listen, man, I've watched 11 years of people fawning over Aaron Rodgers. I got one Super Bowl run. I don't need him to be in the Super Bowl every year. That's not what I'm saying. But he's not really good right now. He's going to be 35 in December. He's hurt again. I think at times he's condescending. I mean, I don't know. What's wrong with Green Bay when you watch him? What is it? Devontae Adams, to me, is a baller.
Yeah. What happened in this game, he just didn't quite look like himself. I mean, Aaron made some plays that are uncharacteristic for him we aren't used to seeing Aaron throw a ball, throw a hitch route like that to a corner who's coming about to break on it. Should be a pick six. And so, I think Aaron's done so much in this league that for him to stand up there and say, hey, look, guys, I need to play better. I didn't do this right. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. To me, and I don't know, because Aaron is the kind of guy who when I've had conversations with, will take responsibility for things. Will say, hey, I didn't do this right. I've known Aaron since college. He whooped up on us pretty bad in a bowl game at Cal, and we've kind of become, we've been friends since then.
Is he happy in Green Bay? Honestly. Is he happy with McCarthy? You think he's happy? Be honest about this.
I don't think he is.
I don't think he is either.
I don't think he is.
I don't think he's I think he says the right stuff, but I think in the end he's disappointed. They don't spend on Khalil Mack. Yeah. They've never gotten a running game. They don't keep offense. You nailed it. I don't think deep down, Aaron, you don't keep taking these little passive-aggressive shots if you're happy in a relationship.
Yeah.
If you're taking shots at your wife as a guy, she's pretty good, I guess. She's a pretty good parent. But take those shots when you're not happy.
Yeah, but see, I don't know where he goes from here, though.
No, he doesn't go anywhere.
And he doesn't go anywhere, obviously, with the new deal. But even prior to that, I don't know if it was anywhere to go. And so, you kind of make those little comments, and you hope it either gets better or he has his contract, so either that guy's going to go, Aaron's not going.
No, Aaron's not getting fired.
Yeah.
All right. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.